We have mapped almost every inch of this planet. Between global shipping routes, flight paths, and submarine internet cables, the modern world is a tightly woven net. But if you look closely at the Bay of Bengal, you'll find one blind spot, a 60 square kilometer patch of jungle that remains entirely off the grid. This is North Sentinel Island. You can't just sail up to the beach. For thousands of years, the island has been guarded by its own geography. There are no natural harbors here. Instead, the land is surrounded by a formidable perimeter of shallow, jagged coral reefs that make approaching the shore incredibly dangerous for modern vessels. Those who do manage to cross that reef rarely return. In 2006, 2 fishermen drifted into these waters after their boat's engine failed. They were killed on the beach. In 2018, an American missionary named John Allen Chow paid locals to smuggle him ashore. He was killed shortly after arriving. The architects of this violence are the Sentinelese. They have lived on this island for tens of thousands of years, likely adapting to its limited resources through a biological process called insular dwarfism. They average around 5.5 feet tall, and their response to outsiders is immediate and often lethal. This consistent aggression raises a difficult question. Is this just a primitive reflex, or is there a reason for this hostility that we simply haven't accounted for? To find an answer, we look back to 1880. British naval officer Maurice Vidal Portman landed on North Sentinel with a heavily armed search party, leading one of the first recorded colonial intrusions into their territory. Most of the tribe fled into the dense forest, but Portman's men managed to capture an elderly couple and 4 children. They were dragged off the island to Port Blair, where the adults rapidly fell ill. Having spent millennia isolated from the rest of humanity, they had no immunity to outside diseases, and they died shortly after. Unsure of what to do next, the British dropped the 4 children back on the island beaches and left. We have no record of how many others died as a result of that exposure, but for the survivors, the lesson was clear. Outsiders bring death. Despite their isolation, their technology has changed. For over a century, they have interacted with massive wrecks that occasionally ground themselves on their reefs. Vessels like the Nineveh in 1867 and the cargo freighter MV Primrose in 1981. The Sentinelese rode out to these hulls and scavenged the scrap iron. By cold forging the metal with stones, they began replacing their ancient wooden arrowheads with lethal, metal-tipped points. These aren't backward relics. They are highly observant survivors. They have scavenged the failures of our civilization to build a stronger fortress against it. There is only one recorded instance of peaceful physical contact. In 1991, Indian anthropologist Dr. Madhumala Chattopadhyay led an expedition to the island's shores. Instead of weapons, she brought coconuts. She began tossing them into the surf, and eventually the Sentinelese waded into the water to accept fruit directly from the researchers' hands. But the contact was short-lived. In subsequent years, the arrows returned, and the tribe retreated back into total isolation. Their survival is rooted in a deep understanding of their environment. In 2004, the catastrophic Indian Ocean tsunami decimated the surrounding regions. Modern villages with advanced warning systems were leveled. The Indian government sent a military helicopter to search for survivors, assuming the tribe had been wiped out. Instead, they found them unharmed. The Sentinelese had noticed the shifting environment long before the wave hit and fled to higher ground. Their survival suggests that outside intervention isn't a rescue mission. It's a direct threat to a system that has kept them alive for 60,000 years. Today, the Indian government maintains a strict hands-off, eyes-on policy. The Coast Guard enforces a 9-kilometer buffer zone around North Sentinel Island, arresting anyone who attempts to approach the shore. This blockade protects the islanders from lethal modern pathogens they cannot fight. This is the cost of contact elsewhere. Neighboring tribes like the Great Andamanese saw a 99% population collapse after exposure to outside diseases. Further south, the Shompen tribe is currently facing cultural erasure and habitat loss due to massive port developments and the settlement of hundreds of thousands of outsiders. Compared to these decimated groups, the Sentinelese remain independent. Their hostility has been their only effective shield against extinction. As humanity connects every corner of the globe, the Sentinelese prove that our ultimate survival trait might be knowing exactly when to shut the rest of the world out.